Hello again, Bobcats. It's 8-Bit here with another Bridgewater Middle School crash course. And in this episode, we are going to be looking at Google Drive, the basics, such as creating a document, creating a folder, sharing said folder, and some other tips and tricks you might want to use for Google Drive at the very beginning. If you need a more advanced video, please look out for our advanced Google Drive a little bit later on. So let's jump in. First things first, you'll go to Google Drive and log into your student account. That's the one that, if you remember, by now you should remember, it's your student ID at students.ocps.net. I already have my account ready to go, so I'm just going to go ahead and sign in very quickly. And you'll notice when you do sign in, it should open up to the priority, or sometimes it will open to my drive. It just depends on how and when you open it. So over on the left, I'm going to want to see my drive. You probably don't have shared drives, shared computers, shared with me, and then recent, starred, and trash. Right now, we're just going to focus on that tab that says My Drive. Now, more than likely, your drive does not have as many folders as mine does. But we're going to fix that right now, because we're actually going to learn how to create a folder and start organizing our Google Drive. For today's sake, you'll probably create a civics folder, but the same rules can apply to a language arts, a science, a math, or PE, or whatever subject area you have. So let's start. First and foremost, you'll notice that this is kind of the Google Drive home screen. There is a plus new button on the very top left-hand corner, and this is kind of going to be the home button for creating new documents. Now, yes, you can right-click anywhere and you can new folder, upload folder. You can do the same thing. But for ease of video sake, let's just use this button that says new. So we're going to actually create a new folder. So you're going to click on new, hit new folder, and we're going to name it. Let's name this Civics 2.0. You'll see that your new folder is now highlighted, and if we click into it, it's going to be empty. So how do we add documents to our folder? Well, let's go ahead and create a brand new one. So I want to create a Google Doc, or kind of like a Microsoft Word document. So I'm going to hit that plus new button. I'm going to scroll down to Google Docs, and I'm going to click it. And now you'll see that you now have a Google Doc created. And if you've never used Google Suite or Google Docs before, it operates very similar to how a Microsoft Word document would. You know, it's a word processor. You type, and you say, I am happy, I love civics. And you're going to want to name the document. So let's just say this is my civics reflection. And that's where you name it, is in the top left-hand corner. There are some other basic tools in Google Drive, such as, your italic, bold, underline, text color, highlighter. But really, just play around with it and you'll learn it. Inside our Google Drive folder now, we actually see that brand new assignment or that brand new document we created. But what if I want to take an existing document and I want to put it into our brand new Civics 2.0 folder? Well, what we'll do is we're going to go ahead and find that document. So we can use the search bar on the very top. We can find it in our long list of things if we don't really know exactly what we're looking for. And then once we do, there's a few options. We can, if it's close by, we can left click, drag it up to the folder we want. We can right click it, click move to, select what folder we want. Or the last option we have is we can actually click into it, and in a moment there's going to be a little document up here that looks like a folder, and we can click on that move button as well. Inside Google Drive, you'll notice that there's pretty much not much else you can do. You should just be able to organize it and create new documents. If you click this little arrow on the left-hand side next to My Drive, it'll start opening up all of the folders that you've had. And from here, you can navigate more and more and more, but that's a little bit more advanced. So today's basic was just simply creating a new folder, how to create a document. The last thing I want to show you is how to share a document. And we're also going to be able to use the same rules to share a folder, which might be beneficial later on this year. So I'm going to click back into Civics 2.0. I'm going to open up the document I just recently created, which was my civics reflection. and I am going to click the button that says share in the top right hand corner. And when I click share, there's going to be a few options available to me. I can add people directly with their email address, and that's the same with the student accounts. So you can add someone with the student accounts, the 480@students.ocbs.net, or I can get a link. Now be careful with this link. There's a few options going on here. First things first, please check to see what are the permissions on it. So right now it's restricted, so only people added can open this link. I actually want to change that to Orange County Public Schools. And once you do that, if you scroll to the right a little bit, you'll see that there's going to be a drop down. It says viewer, commenter, or editor. Viewer is if you just want to give this link to someone and they can see the document. Commenter means that they can make comments to the side of it. And editor is I can edit the document myself. Most of the time, viewer and editor are the only two you'll use. Once you decided what you want to do, you'll hit copy link, click done, and now you have your link. You'll see it says link copied or link copied. And you can just control V or right click paste to get that link to wherever you need it to be. Before we do a recap, if you right click, you can also do the same thing with the link or with the share, right? We can share with a person here, or we can get a shareable link. Either one is perfectly fine. Same thing. So a quick recap. We have learned how to add a new folder. We have learned also how to add new documents such as sheets, slides, docs, and if you click on that more button, there's a bunch of other options. And we've also learned how to move documents around. We can either click and drag, right click to click move to, or within the document we can move them as well. All right, Bobcats, Google Drive, there's a lot to it. This was the basics. Come back later if you need an advanced. See you next time.